Hannah Murray on TRE in the afternoon.
With us on the line now is Graeme Donald, our trivia guru. This month we're looking at words with hidden links. What, for example, is the very direct and feline connection between the words dandelion and panties, or the connection between Nazi and the word ignition? Well, we're about to find out. How are you, Graeme?
I'm fine. And yourself?
Good. Yeah, really good, thanks. You're experiencing a bit of a heat wave, I understand.
We are indeed, yes. It's rather Mediterranean here, actually.
Is it nice or is it a bit too hot?
It's a bit too hot.
Okay. We're never happy, are we?
No. I forget who said it, but was it Mark Twain? He said, the English always talk about the weather, but none of them never do anything about it.
Yes, very true. It's always cold, it's always rainy, but then when it's hot, it's too hot.
It's hot. Oh, it's too hot. Give me some rain. Yeah.
So let's start today's topic.
Right. Yes, as you say, looking at the decidedly feline link between the words dandelion and panties. I mean, the clue, you can see it in dandelion. Because this is the more obvious link, because that's the Italian for lion. It's responsible for both terms. The meadow flower was generally known in medieval English as wet the bed. Well, that's the polite version. For its pronounced diuretic properties. But in the early 1500s, the Italian dandelion, or the lion's teeth, drifted into English through French as reference to the flower's pointed, spiky and yellow petals, if you like, because it looked like a bunch of lion's teeth. Now, as for panties, that's a bit longer of an explanation, as it ultimately reaches back to medieval Italian stage farce, in which Pantaleone was the name given the stock character embodying cowardice, deceit. He was always cringing, and he was thus given that name in irony, because in Italian meant all lion, Pantaleone, all lion. Now, when not wearing tight leggings, Pantaleone wore billowing Turkish or Arabian-style knee-length trousers. And as his name was received into English as pantaloon, this, in the plural, pantaloon, in the plural, pantaloons, was used as a nickname for the voluminous undergarments favoured by women at the time. Now, when such garments shrunk in size, so too did the name. I mean, it just shrunk together. Now, just to digress a moment, in Arabian theatre, the stock idiot or buffoon, he was always identified by excessive amounts of black eye makeup. The Arabic for a buffoon was mascara. And
wow.
Westerners, they grabbed the wrong end of the stick. I thought, that's the name for the eye makeup. Oh, all right. Well, pass me another big stick of buffoon, darling.
Funny.
Now, sticking with lingerie again, what connects knickers to ice cream and the baking trade? Now, before it was renamed New York in 1664, after the Dutch surrender of that settlement, which was they originally called New Amsterdam, and in 1809, the American humorist Washington Irving published his runaway success called Knickerbocker's History of New York, which was a wry look at the trials and tribulations of those first Dutch settlers of that city, call it what you will. Now, casting about for a frivolous pen name for this publishing venture, Irving, he settled on the name Dietrich Knickerbocker, which basically meant a man who baked children's clay playing marbles, which were known in Dutch as knickers, for the rappy noise they made when they clashed together in play. Now, Irving was aware that after baking their bread, and reluctant to waste residual heat in their ovens, many of the city's Dutch bakers would pop in many trays of clay marbles to bake off and then be sold, for painting and glazing. So Knickerbocker basically meant a man who baked children's marbles. Anyway, the book's illustrations showed early settlers of New Amsterdam in traditional Dutch costume, which incorporated brightly coloured silk, like +4 type trousers, which, as with pantaloons, so closely resembled the women's underpants of the day that they quickly became known as knickerbockers. And just as pantaloons eventually became panties, knickerbockers were destined to become knickers. And the multicoloured Knickerbocker Glory ice cream, falling over my own tongue here, first served up in New York at the close of the 1800s, is also named because the colours of the ice cream involved in the Knickerbocker Glory so closely resemble the vibrant colours of the silk trousers featured in those same illustrations.
Yeah.
So there you are, knickers to ice cream to the baking trade. Boom.
Brilliant.
Now, and what's the decidedly gladiatorial link between combustion and the word bust as denoting either a hen chest statuette or the female chest?
You're going to tell us.
No, I'm not. I'm off. Bye. Now, in early Rome, a funeral pyre was known in Latin as a bustum, B-U-S-T-U-M. And this was the norm for the departed elite. But when family crypts came along, the term simply transferred. So bustum came from a burning pile to a family crypt. So combustion is a pretty clear offshoot from that. But the portals of these crypts, they were always flanked by fluted pillars topped with images of funereal goddesses, shown naked from the midriff up only. Hence the diverse application of the two busts, but both deriving from the Latin for burning.
Yeah.
Now then, I did say gladiatorial link, so that best explain that. Now, dating back to those early funeral pyres or bustums, it was the norm for the family of the departed to rope in gangs of slaves and prisoners who were forced to pair off and fight to the death to provide an escort for the departed's venture into the afterlife. Not quite why the rich and famous of ancient Rome wanted to embark on such a journey accompanied by a bunch of losers it's really always puzzled me, but there we are. Now, as with any trend favoured by those with more money than sense, this use of fighters, who are known as the bustari, got completely out of hand. First mention of their use is noted in 264 BC, when the sons of the departed Junius Brutus Pera had 3 pairs fighting at their father's funeral pyre. But by the time the Senate in Rome felt obliged to intervene, funerals involving 350 pairs were not uncommon. So enough was enough. So the number of the bustari fighting at funerals was severely capped or curtailed and moved into the public arena for all to enjoy. Then you get the gladiators, but not the losers. They didn't enjoy it very much. So there we are.
No, not quite the same experience.
No, hit me again. Now, sticking with that fiery link, what's the... Yes, you mentioned the link between Nazi and ignition. Right, to kick off, it must be said that the debate as to whether Hitler was extreme right or extreme left-wing rumbles on still. I mean, in my opinion, if you shift far enough either right or left, you end up in the same place as that nasty little man.
Yeah.
But it must be said that the official name of his repugnant party was National Socialist German Workers' Party, which doesn't sound very right-wing to me. But
no, interesting.
There you have it. But it must also be said that no one who was content with the standard number of holes in their body as decreed by nature went around shouting Nazi at Hitler or any of his jolly little Reichstag band. Now, you know how any name that gets overused, it attracts imputations of stupidity, like the popularity of English kings called Charles or rashes of boys christened Charles, which left people getting branded. Oh, he's a right Charlie, he's a proper Charlie,
Yeah.
an idiot. And the same happened with William and Richard, the Kings William and Richard, which not only spawned Willie and Dick, which we'll leave to one side at the moment.
Yes, fair enough.
Yes,
good point, though.
Not at this time. But the lesser-known pet form of Richard was Hick, Hick, which came to be used of an ignorant peasant or a country bumpkin.
Yeah.
And it was much the same in Hitler's native Austria, because he didn't take German citizenship until 1932. Anyway, in Austria, and for centuries before Hitler was even spawned, the overused name was Ignatius, which basically meant the fiery one. Hence the obvious link to ignition, igneous, ignite, whatever. But the anti-Hitler German journalist Konrad Hayden was aware that the common pet form of Ignatius was Nazi.
Oh.
And that being much used by non-Austrians as the equivalent of yokel, moron or idiot, he promoted that as a good name for the Austrian Hitler and his cohorts. Now, soon after he published such sentiments a few times in his column, he decided it was wise to quit Germany and make a run for America.
Yes, probably
so
safer.
He ended his days in the United States. Sensible chap, hostile of his and sticking with Hitler and his life, what connects fascism to fascinate? Now, the link rests on the Latin for to bind closely or to tie tight together. Now, when Mussolini was casting about for a name for his own little party of horrors, he selected fascist as based on the old Roman fascio, which was the name of the symbol which, representing the collective powers of the Senate, Roman Senate, and the people together, it was a heavy bundle of thin dowel-like rods bound together to project the implication that you might be able to snap one rod on its own, but there's no way you're going to snap this bundle when it's lashed and standing together. Now, also from fascio, we get fascination, which originally in English denoted someone helpless in the state of being bound by a witch's spell, trapped, tied, spellbound, if you like. And there's a lot of other words we use in everyday context, which originally was reflective of witchery woo. Charm originally denoted the witch's chant, which was used to cast a spell, as indeed did the word glamour. But what of the origins of the fascist/Nazi salute? Well, believe it or not, that was born in the United States, of all places.
Oh.
Yeah. It was inspired by that which he wrongly believed to be the salute of ancient Rome. The Romans, they had no salute at all. It was all this, Hail Caesar. They didn't have a salute. An American Baptist minister called Francis Bellamy came up with the ritual for incanting the Pledge of Allegiance to the Stars and Stripes, which had all assembled, starting off with a clenched right fist put to the heart. Before that right arm was extended, palm down, fingers extended at an angle of 45 degrees to the flag. Sound familiar? Whilst intoning, I pledge the allegiance, allegiance to the flag of America, blah, blah, blah. And this was first enacted across the United States on Columbus Day in 1892. Later on, friend Mussolini liked the Bellamy salute so much that he, equally ignorant of the fact that the Romans had no salute at all, he also adopted it before passing it on to Hitler. Now, come 1942, with half of Europe jackbooting about with right arms raised in such style, America wisely decided to curtail the physical salute to the flag at the point when the right hand touched the chest. No, forget anything else. To, quote, avoid any confusion.
Yes, probably
Brackets,
best.
Mr. Musk.
Oh, dear. Yes, that was frightful, wasn't it? Yeah, wow. How amazing, all those connections. I never knew that about charm either, coming from witches. Because there was
Carmen, like Carmen.
There was a TV...
It was a charm, the song.
Sorry, go on.
I'm sorry, love. No.
There was a TV show called Charmed, which ran for many years, which was the 3 women that were kind of witches. I didn't watch it, but it was all witchy stuff, and I never knew why it was called Charmed, but that's obviously why, with the witch connection.
Yeah. It was the song, basically.
The
incantation.
Wow. Well, we learn something new every time you join us, Graeme. Thank you.
I just make it all up.
Yeah, it's great. Well, it sounds good. We wouldn't know, would we?
As long as it all links together. And looks
exactly.
Yeah, I'll do. Yeah.
Love it. Well, if people want any books written by you filled with interesting information and connections like this, if they go to Amazon and they can look up Graeme Donald, which is spelled Graeme Donald, then there are lots of books for people to choose from.
There are indeed, even in Spanish, I think.
Oh, even in Spanish. Well done.
Yeah, Spanish, Russian, Italian.
Oh, fantastic.
The worst one was when they put a Japanese version of one of the books out, and the publisher sent me the proofs to correct, to sanction. So I phoned them up. I said, you got one of the pictograms or the kanji on page 39, which is Cantonese, not Chung Tang. And she went, oh, God, have we? I said, I wouldn't know.
Oh, brilliant. I love that. Well, Graeme Donald, thank you very much for being with us, as always, and we look forward to catching up with you again in July.
Indeed.
Take care. Bye-bye.
You take care, Hannah. Bye.